Episode 208. Cheng Yilao's decision. Everyone was stunned. The word replace was incredibly sensitive in this context. Of course, they understood Spring Intent Elder's surface meaning, but did it imply that from now on, was the status of the 5 great experts really about to change hands? In terms of pure skill, rounding the Bangsa passing the sun was superior to Blue River. By now, it wasn't just Spring Rain who could see it, but the late-in 5 great elites. It was never just about skill. Blue River's popularity within the guild was leagues beyond what Shore Hanging Sun could ever hope for. Yet, when Spring Intent Old suddenly announced this decision, everyone was just stunned for a moment. No one dared to speak up. After all, they were only speculating and couldn't be sure if Spring Intent Old truly harbored such a deep, unspoken implication. And the ones who were absolutely overjoyed were undoubtedly the group represented by Rao and Chuyang. While they couldn't be certain if Cheng Yilao intended to elevate them, but at the very least, this was a crucial step. If they could succeed in the 10th server's seemingly impossible dungeon record, a feat Lan He himself deemed unachievable, in his stead, then the difference in their abilities would be clear as day, and his support would inevitably far surpass Blue River's. Add to that, Blue River's retreat this time has sparked a lot of discontent. He might even win over some who've always sided with Blue River. The thought sent a thrill through Ardo Inchuyi Ying. He was just about to step forward and make his stance known when he heard Lan River say calmly,
Lord Grimm and his team of 4, just 4 players at level 30, with no MT Knight and no Cleric, managed to secure the first kill on the Fire Witch. So that's what's making you hesitate.
This, in one sense, further confirms his strength.
But more importantly, I suddenly realized his actions were actually perfectly logical. It was us, from our own biased perspective, who decided he shouldn't act that way. Setting that attitude aside, this is just fair competition within the game's rules.
Then, it's also perfectly reasonable competition for us to go for the record now, right?
Cheng Yilao inquired.
That's a given, he replied. But from our perspective of being absolutely determined to claim the record, this isn't the best choice. Whether it's good or not, we won't know until we try it. Blue River, you'd rather trust, that's all, called Lord Grimm than believe in the strength of your own brothers.
Rao and Chuyang had finally gotten a chance. He was terrified that Cheng Yilao would be persuaded by Lan River. He immediately jumped in to press the advantage. Lan River fell silent for a long moment, finally said,
Strength isn't something you get just by believing in it.
True, judging by how the 4 of them took down a field boss 6 levels higher, Lord Grimm's skill is indeed superior to mine. But in a low-level, thoroughly farmed dungeon like the Glazed Lands, there's a limit to how much skill can even matter. I dare say, even if a pro team came down here, their performance in this low-level dungeon, they'd only be on par with us in a head-to-head fight. What they can do, we can do too. And what they can do that we can't
is completely useless in this dungeon. You're right. Guild leader. Let's move out.
Rao and Chuyang was absolutely thrilled at this moment.
First, have Blue River help you get an account card.
Sorry to trouble you, Blue River.
Actually, said Ardo Chuhong with a smile. I had the idea to go show off in the 10th server yesterday. He already had a character card for the 10th server, but there was no need to show it now. He'd just let Blue River handle the preparations. But Lan River hadn't said all he wanted to say.
And one final point Lord Grimm's class isn't unspecialized. It's a variable that doesn't even exist in the pro scene. We can't predict it.
This time, it was Shorebound Willow who jumped in to answer Blue River.
Since it's a variable, why assume it's automatically a disadvantage for us? Besides, the unspecialized playstyle wasn't invented by Lord Grimm. It's been around for years. If it were truly that advantageous, wouldn't all dungeon records have been set with this class involved? Come to think of it, the record for the Glazed Lands dungeon is even older than the unspecialized class itself. But it seems like none of the record setting teams across the major servers have an unspecialized player. If unspecialized players are so powerful, capable of setting records that no one can break, then why hasn't it been passed down?
Riverside Willow had indeed done his homework. He specifically went and studied the dungeon records and dungeons across all the major servers.
Right, the unspecialized class is a thing in the past.
Lan River's explanation was sounding more and more feeble. The brothers around him could hardly bear to listen, none of them understanding why he was being so stubborn this time.
Just let it go. Let the guild leader and the others give it a try first. See what they can manage.
No, we need another plan. At that moment, a man named Bai Yanfei sent him a private message. All right, that's it for now.
Olan, prep another healthy account. We'll come back during the day to run the record again.
Lan He could say no more. He could only agree in silence. That same afternoon, around 3 o'clock, the 5-man team from Blue Brook Guild's Heavenly Domain reappeared in the 10th server. Only now, the swordsman was being piloted by the arrogant new generation expert Ardo Enchiyi Anangi. None of them spoke up. They were all a bit annoyed by Lan River's stubbornness yesterday. But they didn't much care for the arrogant new gen expert Ardo Enchiyi Ing either. But his skills surpass Blue River's. With him on the team, our record-breaking potential definitely gets a boost.
Bosses, are we heading out now? Let's go.
Springwarmth was also a man of few words. The group arrived at the Glazed Lands and began their record run. They were intimately familiar with the small dungeon's layout. The commander gave few orders, and the push through the dungeon was a quiet, grim affair. It wasn't until they reached the final boss, Choya, that things changed. To improve their clear time, they needed to coordinate. Only then did they start reminding each other more often. Even so, the heavy atmosphere didn't lift. It was as if only Shorebound Willow was brimming with energy. The other three were all rather listless. This dungeon run's final time still fell a bit short of the original record. Not a satisfying result.
Bosses, we were just messing around and still got this score. With a bit more practice, we'll be unstoppable.
Rao and Chui Yang wasn't discouraged in the slightest. He declared with fierce determination.
You three come here.
Chang Yilao stepped aside and beckoned Bianfei, Roy Han, and Shu Guang Xuanbing over. Rao and Chu Yang saw this and thought, this is way too obvious, avoiding me like that. What are these guys planning to say in private? Rao and Chu Yang was inwardly fuming, but he couldn't show it. He just stood there at the dungeon entrance, listlessly hacking away at the small fry. He cranked his headset volume to max, gritting his teeth against the deafening game noise, but still couldn't make out what the other four were muttering.
"该音频由 AI 生成。 该音频由 AI 生成。